Hello everyone, it is Susan here. In today's video, I'm going to work in this traveler's notebook or journal, whatever you want to call it, that is all geared around the book of Psalms from the Bible. On this page here, you see those lines? I use this piece of corrugated cardboard and that Hero Hues brown ink to get the lines. And then on this page, I use this cozy from, that would go around a hot coffee because both of those have, like a texture to them, and they make a great little stamp to use. So now I am on to this page here. So at this point, I'm just going to take the pieces that I've selected to use on this 2-page spread, and I'm going to kind of go through it and figure out the placement, and which is like my favorite thing to do. But we're going to start with this stencil, which I'm not sure where I got it from, but I'm going to go ahead and pull out an old makeup sponge and this brown ink from Hero Arts. And I just want to get some design onto the background. So this whole journal is very brown, very neutral in color, and I want to keep it that way through the whole thing, right? So the first few sets of pages I did a few years ago. So I'm just trying to pick up on that same feel to the journal and kind of keep it going through. I kind of feel like I'm adding a little bit more now to the pages than I did then, but I'm definitely trying to keep the pages very neutral. So what I have here, that very, very back paper, is actually a note from someone that had sent me something. And on top of that, I have Psalm 145, verse 18 typed out. And it says, "The Lord is close to all who come to on him." Oh, sorry, let me say that again. "The Lord is close to all who call on him. Yes, to all who call on him sincerely." And because of that word sincerely, I'm like, oh, the typewriter would be so perfect to use on this spread. I've been trying to use it and I haven't been able to. And I'm like, well, this is like the perfect spread to use it on because it's kind of like a little takeoff on, when you write a letter, you write sincerely at the end. Yeah, so, hey, it makes sense in my head. But what you're going to see me do is I just end up gluing stuff down. So I kind of get a little bit of an idea in my head. I don't have to have the whole picture in my head of exactly what I want these pages to look like. But once I get a feel for where I want things to go, I start gluing. It's just how I work, and it definitely works for me. I kind of like in my head, I always think, well, what do I have left to do? What are the next steps? So if I got some of the steps already done, like whether they're right or they're wrong, they're done. Then I have less steps to do yet. And that's how my mind works because, well, I was a project manager at work. So it's all about the steps and what you have left to do, right? And even in that, it was like, well, move forward, right or wrong, move forward. And if you have to fix something, you fix it. And so my mind thinks the same way when I'm working in a journal or sewing or working, making mixed media or altering something. My mind works the same way. Let me get the best feel that I can for the page or the canvas or whatever I'm working on as quickly as possible and start gluing stuff down. So that's the way I work. And you'll see here I'm looking through some flowers. Most of these were very dimensional, so I didn't have a lot to choose from. But then I found this piece of cork. That's a flower. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought it looked really, really good. Now that little like button that I have on top, that just kind of fell off a little bit. That's too big. I'm not going to end up using that, but you'll see what I end up doing. And as usual, I'm going to try to get not only vertical pieces on my spread, but I'm going to make sure I have at least one solid focal point. And I will try to get something horizontal onto both pages or one of the pages. Yeah, because in my head, that's what makes it look pleasing to the eyes. So this piece of washi right here is my horizontal piece. And I like that. You can see all the way over to the left off of the journal. As soon as my hand moves, give me a second here. You'll see some pieces of washi tape. So I have some washi tape out that I want to use on this journal. So as I'm working through the journal, I look at the washi that's next to me and I pull some out. And then, so for the middle of the flowers, I'm looking through these enamel dots because I need a center for that flower, for that top flower. And I really liked the color of the freckled fawn enamel dot. And so I go ahead and I get that there, and I'm happy with that. But I'm really thinking at this point, when I look at this, I mean, even after adding a couple enamel dots on the right side of the page, I kind of was feeling like these two pages weren't connected. Like, so what is connecting these two pages? And I just wasn't feeling the flow from one page to the next, even with those enamel dots there. So what I figured, I'm like, well, I'm going to use this piece of cardboard. I don't know where it came from, but it has very fine lines on it. And I'm going to use that same brown ink. And it's very hard to see, but you'll be able to see it best at the pictures at the end of the video. I'm placing some of these horizontal lines across both pages, and as faint as those lines are, it helps tremendously. And then this is what finalizes the bringing of the two pages together. Is I knew I wanted a neutral flower for the right side, and for whatever reason, adding this flower to me just worked. So it just worked. And once I had that on there, plus with those horizontal lines, plus adding this center in here, it brought the spread together. Now I'm going to lift it up and you'll be able to see the lines a little bit here. Yeah, but I just wanted to show you up close, and I am going to share a picture or two at the end of this video. And that's it for today. I have 5.5 more pages left in this journal to do, and we're going to have journal 5 done. Thanks so much for being here. God bless. Have a great week.